Hello, 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 and welcome to the Game Warrior. Today we're taking a look at A Song of Fire and Ice Tactics, a tabletop miniature skirmish game by Simon. You'll see here that I'm backer number 26. I got in early. So let's start by saying, am I a George R.R. Martin fan? Absolutely not. I don't like the man. I'm not really even a fond of his books. I've read the first one, and that's it. Did I watch the entire Game of Thrones TV show? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And was brutally disappointed with the ending. Horrific. Benioff and Weiss blew it on an epic scale. So that's a little bit of fire and passion from me. Very disappointing. However, do I like miniature skirmish games? Absolutely. I love them. I used to have so much Warhammer Fantasy. I had a store. I used to sell it. I sold so much of it. I loved that game. I still have some, but I've sold most of it. But the game that got me the most, the game that ignited my entire tribe of friends and gamers was D&D miniatures. D&D miniatures. You see, I have a long history of loving Dungeons and Dragons from first edition back in the 80s through the terrible second edition into 3.5 and 3.0, the Renaissance. Skip 4.0 because it was trash, and unfortunately kicking and screaming into 5.0. Not really happy with it. Much rather stay back with Pathfinder and 3.5. Long history. Look, from 80 to now, what is that? 44 years of gaming. 44 years of gaming. So when Dungeons & Dragons miniature skirmish game came out, it was so great. We would play tournaments. You would play booster boxes. You get 2 booster boxes, open them up, make a warband, and go on your map against other people. Went down to Gen Con Southern California. So Gen Con, the big, huge gaming convention, actually came over to Southern California down in Anaheim for a couple years before they canceled it. And we went down there, and me and my sons would just play tournaments all day long, just like being in a Magic the Gathering tournament. Then we'd come home, and I have so many D&D miniatures. I love them. They're pre-painted, by the way. And you use them for your D&D game, but it was so great to do these war bands, and we build them up. It was just took the game so seriously. So I just love these. Now, I have a game over here called Sky Tier Horde, which I'm very interested in. I think there is a game called, it is a skirmish game, and I'm forgetting the name of it, but I do have it coming. Oh, what is it? Is it DEI? I don't think it is DEI. It's a different one. Anyways, I got turned on to that idea from Chris over at the Legion of Games, and that game looks awesome. We did get D&D Onslaught recently, thinking it was the reincarnation of D&D miniatures. It's not, but we had fun with that. We've recently been playing Battle of Gods, which is a Norse-themed miniature game. Really fun, like these type of games. And so with Simon coming in here, and I love what they do. I love the way they do their miniatures. I love the way they do their games. I was like, this is a no-brainer. And plus, you do have, so it's a positive for me. It's a positive that you have A Song of Fire and Ice because you have a rich history to draw from. Yes, it's not one that I particularly like. I don't like George R.R. Martin. But, and I'll be specific, I don't like his negative worldview. Everyone's a villain, and everyone's evil, and everyone's stupid, and if you're a good person, you're dead. You get punished. And I saw an interview with him once, and he goes, people are stupid. I think the majority of people on this planet are idiots, and I'm going to write about that, and if you are expecting a happy ending, you're an idiot. I'm warning you right now. People are scum, and they don't have happy endings. It was an interview in Lotus magazine years and years ago, way back in the 90s. And from then on, I just don't like him, you know. And you can see that through the show. It's not a very positive show. And I am a positive person. We all know that, or we wouldn't be watching and talking with me, right? So I have my bouts of negativity. Don't let me fool you. But in my epic fantasy, I started with The Hobbit and then The Lord of the Rings, and the good guys are good and they win. Yes, they do. Worldview, my story. Okay. And I know there's tragedy out there. I know there's terrible things in the world, but This is just the way I look at things. By the way, look, there's 714 backers in the first 15 minutes, 131,000. They haven't got to the 300 yet. So let's take a look. Now, the big thing you see on the screen right now is the dragon. And so I do, okay, so let's first see that there's two things that they're starting with here, which is the Battle of the Trident. So that's your starter box. So it's a Battle of the Trident, and it's between the Targaryens and the Baratheons. And that's the beginning. And you can see the red for the Targaryens and so forth. And that's it. This is your basic game. And for what it's worth, it was only $60. I thought for sure I'm buying a $110 Simon box set. I was pretty surprised at that. The miniatures look amazing. I don't care about range compatibility because I don't play the other games, so that's just not a concern for me. And here is the Battle of the Trident. Interesting, right? Now, here's something else that they did. And this I find to be really interesting. And you can see already that I'm going to up my pledge. So they took out stretch goals. And I don't know why. There is one thing about stretch goals. I can tell you this. They're BS, right? Especially for CMON. CMON are absolutely the best, the number one people for making a campaign interesting. And they've got the stretch goals. And one of the cool thing about the stretch goals is that sometimes you'll hit 2 or 3 of them in a day. You hit this one, and then here's the next one, and here's the next one. Some of their 2 best campaigns for me were Call of Cthulhu, Fear of the Unknown, and Marvel United. Loved it. I also liked Marvel Zombicide. I didn't end up backing it, but it also had those daily unlocks. Not daily unlocks, stretch goals. That's what I meant to say. All right. And here's the thing. They will have daily unlocks. So I wonder if this is just a new way of trying it, because when they do those stretch goals, they have to, if you know what they do, they have to have an idea way beforehand where this is going to come in, right? Is the first stretch goal at 300,000? Probably, right? That's you hit the goal. You can't have a stretch goal before you hit the goal. And then there's the next one, 350 or 500. What's the number? Because what do they expect in the internal numbers division, what they're going to make? So now they just got rid of that, and it's daily unlocks. They're going to give you a free thing every once in a while. And if you don't want to pay for all of that, here it is, that box of extra stuff, which is why we buy from CMON. Just pay $60. It'll be $80 on Amazon. You'll get it for $60. You'll probably pay $20 shipping. It's just going to be... There you go. No daily stretch goals. Pledge without banners. Interesting, right? Really an interesting way of doing that. They've never done that before. It might be less exciting. I love following this campaign. This will be a campaign I want to follow. And I wonder if it's less exciting. Like the next big news, they will send an email out going, we made it to 300, and then there won't be any stretch goals hit. So there'll be not an email until tomorrow with a daily unlock. Maybe they know what they're doing. They're trying it out, right? And they'll see if it works that way. However, for $20 more, you get all daily stretch goals. So obviously, in the Pledge Manager, I'm going to up this, right? I don't do it now, because why give them money that they don't need until they need it? Nope, not going to do it. Okay? So then there's Dracarys, Drogo. And he's the first extra special thing. What do we call this? The expansion, right? And they call it Drogon's Fury. Dracarys is what they say when they want you to blow fire, right? And look at that number. That number was a kick. I was 100% going to get this. I remember talking to some people online where like, it's going to be 100. And I was like, there's no way that thing is $100. This is going to be 150. I'm going to blow 150 on it. 260. You priced me out, CMON. I won't be getting this. I won't be. It's awesome. There's a whole game with it. It'll be fun, but I won't be getting it at that price. And it's probably just what it costs to make. It's huge. So that's too bad for me, but it's not that I couldn't. I have the money if I budgeted and formulated into it. It's just not, it's just not where I want to put my money. That's pretty simple, right? So there'll be daily stretch goals. And there is a terrain pack, which I'm really excited about. Always get the terrain from these games. They always make the game better. Get metal coins if you can. I see that they have these wooden things here. Not wooden. They're, what are they called? Cardboard. We'll take a look at them there. Yeah, get rid of those. The art looks amazing. Look at the art. Look at the miniatures. Oh, my gosh. The characters. The game. Now, by the way, if you go look, Professor Meg for Board Game Co. has a play. I think Dice Tower is going to do a play too. You know, watching those, I mean, on the game, I don't have any idea if it's going to be fun. I always talk about this when you get these games. A lot of people, they want the rules and they want to know everything about it, but none of that duplicates playing the game and getting the experience. Some games you're like, oh, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, and you're like, it's just exciting, right? I was just recently looking at Ark Nova. That game just blows my mind. I love it. A lot of people are loving Earth right now. I've played it a couple times. It was good. You see what I'm saying? You got to play them, and then you just got to find if they click for you. So I have no idea if this is going to click for me, right? I just have no idea. I think it's going to be fun. And here's the cool thing, something that Alex over at Board Game Co. talks about. You know, it's like, will you have your money? What is it? Is it be worth it? Can you get rid of it? This you probably will be, right? This is going to be available on Amazon. That's fine. You'll be able to sell it for some amount of money. Will this hold its value? There's a good chance this will, and I'll tell you why Drogon will hold its value. It's because, hold on, I might sneeze. It's so expensive. Right? So that prices people out of it, which means that it's rarer. And so if this game, I mean, yeah, you pay $260 for this, maybe $40 shipping. You pay $300 cash to get that thing. I can see this going for $500 on eBay. They're not going to do it anywhere else. This is crowdfunding exclusive. This is where you'll get it. Go try to get the big Cthulhu monster. I mean, they might offer it again. I don't know what Galactus is going for, but those big ones tend to be fairly good investments, which argues I should buy it, but I'm not going to. So here's your basic skirmish set. Again, we looked through some of these. The photography is great. The miniatures are great. Look at the bases. They have terrain on the base, so that's really nice. It'll be fun to paint these. I do have a harder time painting them because they're already red. So if I paint these, and I've seen some pictures of paint them, I'll include them in here in the video. I'm like, now I don't know which ones are Targaryens anymore, right? And so I'm tempted to just leave them red. And look at the Targaryen dice. They have their own. Here comes the Baratheons. So what's going to happen here, if I'm correct, is we're going to get 6. What do you say, 6? 6 additional boxes that we can get, and they will be a little cheaper than the $80 base set. They will be 60 to 50, maybe 40 if they're small, but probably 60. They'll be 60, and there'll be other groups. There'll be other groups that fight, so other historical fights. That's really exciting to me. I can't wait to see those unlock over the next 14 days. I think that's awesome. That's really cool. We start with this basic battle between Jon Arryn and Robert Baratheon and the Targaryens. I think that's awesome. It's just really, really cool. With the young Ned Stark, that's just awesome. They have their own dice. We have our terrain tiles. And they'll do, what other things they'll do? They'll do an upgrade kit. Maybe they'll do better tiles. Probably not. These will probably be the tiles that they do. The cards, they'll all be the same. But here, these components, definitely they'll upgrade these. This cardboard crap has got to go, right? So they'll upgrade them. In Marvel United, what they upgraded them to is these plastic things. I think they call them vinyl or acrylic is what they call them. Maybe we'll get metal coins. Give me metal. Give me metal, Simon. And then the special expansion, Drogon's Fury. I mean, he's huge, awesome, just really cool. Grand Arena for him. I would love to have this. I would love it. It just seems a little too expensive for me. It sure would be fun to paint, though. Can you imagine that? And here, speaking of painting, they've got one painted. Amazing. Amazing. That's a job. You can be proud of that if you come up with something that good. Look at that. And then here they have some of these. Doesn't this make you think of Warhammer Fantasy? That's straight up Warhammer Fantasy painting. Anyways, yeah, there's the Taxes preview. I do believe the Dice Tower has one coming. Anyway, so pledge without banners. So I'm not a sworn brother yet. I've pledged without banners, not very loyal. But I will eventually become a sworn brother. For $80, I will get everything. That's 100%. I won't be getting this. And then we'll see if the little sets of time battles with new miniatures and new pieces are cool. Anyways, it's a miniature battle game. I mean, you choose a scenario, you lay out your tiles. I mean, this isn't reinventing the wheel. I mean, they did it really well all over in every game. Zombicide, you choose the tiles, you lay the thing out. Massive Darkness, you choose the tiles, you lay the tile out. Cthulhu Death May Die, you choose the scenario, lay the tiles out. I mean, we've been here before, right? And you build your war band. That's going to be fun. Hopefully, they'll probably have preset ones, but can you build your own? Can you mix and match and spend a certain amount of points? In D&D Miniatures, we had 100-point war bands, and then we had 200-point war bands. They were amazing, right? Different versions, and you can mix and match, especially if you did the what we called the drafting versions. You just get 2 boxes, and then you had to build your war band. It was awesome. It looks like it's going to come in French, German, and Spanish, so that's awesome. And there's going to be a Taxes companion app that's free that helps you play the game. That's awesome. And look at these miniatures. So I don't have to give you to them. They're already here. These are painted. Boy, does this remind me of the painting from Warhammer Fantasy over at Games Workshop. Look at the beautiful way they've done this. The bases, they're round bases, by the way. That's interesting because that's something that Warhammer did as opposed to 40K, Warhammer Fantasy, or Age of Sigmar, or whatever they call it now. Yeah, look at that painting. I mean, this is a game that has endless amounts of joy in it, right? If the game is exciting and you can get your miniatures and paint them, and it's not the big Warhammer stuff. It's not the Games Workshop endless stuff, right? And you don't have to put them together. They're pre-made. Could be a big game. Could be a fun game. Maybe they have tournaments eventually, right? And you can take different pieces. And so, oh, here's the shipping. This is awesome. Pledge without banners. So I'm going to pay $26 to $33 for Utah. Sworn brother, I'm going to pay up to $45. Yeah, you knew that. Dracaris is $62. So I said he was what, $280? What was he? Let's roll up here real quick. Sworn brother, where'd he go? $260. Then went another $60. So it's not $300. It's going to be $320. Or $340 or $50, depending on where the heck you are. All right, he's expensive, right? Will you get your money back? You probably will. If you just get the pledge without banners, will you get your money back? Probably not. $60, $20 shipping. Here, $20, $30, $110 for this. Yeah, you'll get your money back because you have that terrain pack and you have those exclusives that you don't get anywhere else. So $80, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, you can even do stretch pay. How about that? Right? So I'll probably might even upgrade this to 80 before I start, just so they have that. And then I'm going to really, really look. Here's the Battle of the Terrain Pack. That's $40, but I think you get that in here. So that's pretty cool. Drogon's Fury. Oh, print components. Don't know what that is. That's interesting. You can print it all yourself. Oh, without the dragon. That's pretty interesting. And then a dice tray, which I get for free because I pledged early, and so forth and so on. All right, everybody. What do you think? I'm excited. I love CMON campaigns. I just love them anyways. I mean, they're just so fun to follow, particularly when they're a game I'm interested in. For instance, I didn't pay attention to the DC Deceased Zombies. I'm just so sick of Zombicide. I tried to follow White Plague. I just lost interest, right? I'm just out of that market anymore. Those are great fun campaigns. I'm sure they were exciting and entertaining, but I just don't care about those products. Here's a product I do care about. I love D&D miniatures. I love miniature skirmish games. I think this is going to be exciting.